Welcome to The Dark Line, Season 1, Episode 5. They come when it's quiet. I'm Damian Talbot, along with your hosts, Sophia Thompson and Wylder Graves. Tonight, we bring you a collection of stories where silence is never empty, only waiting to be broken. A knock in the dark, and no one standing behind it. A flickering hallway where something waits just out of view. And a family line marked by something no one dares name. These are not stories meant for daylight. Are you ready to cross the dark line?
We begin tonight with a story called Knocking at the Door. The caller and her partner moved into a quiet home surrounded by forest, but the stillness didn't last. Something outside knocks, always 3 times, always just past midnight, and no matter how quickly they open the door, no one is ever there.
Hey, you can call me Weary White 6975, and I don't want to say where I'm from. I've been thinking about this for almost a year now, and I just need to share it because, well, lately my boyfriend and I have been feeling watched. This all started mid-July, 2024. It was about 9 a.m., and I was still half asleep when I heard this banging at the front door. We live in a small suite behind my boyfriend's parents' house. It's on the same property, but completely separate. The knocking, it was loud. Not like a friend dropping by. More like a pissed-off neighbor or even a cop. Heavy, aggressive, and non-stop. I wasn't dressed, so I woke up my boyfriend. I figured maybe it was his dad being weird or impatient. The knocking kept going. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and it was just intense. My boyfriend put on a shirt, went to the door, and yelled, "Hold on! Hold on!" But the second he said that, the knocking got even louder, like slamming on the door. Then, just as he yanked it open, silence. Nobody was there, not a person in sight. We looked around. There was no one walking away, no one hiding, no wind, no prank. Just stillness. Since then, it's been weird little things. Footsteps when no one's home. Metal clanking in the bathroom at night. Sometimes I walk into the kitchen, and a cabinet will be open, even though I know I closed them. The only history I know about this place is that it used to be our town's old church. There's an abandoned cemetery just up the road from here. I don't know what to make of it, but something doesn't feel right. Anyway, thanks. Bye.
You know, there's a reason we react so strongly to knocking. It's not just a sound, it's a signal, a demand for attention. It's rhythmic, intentional, human. So when it happens in the middle of the night with no one there, our brains can't make peace with it. What stands out to me is the escalation. The knocking doesn't stop, it intensifies, and it responds to their voices, which means whatever's outside isn't just random, it's listening.
Yeah, and not just listening. It's choosing when to be heard. I think this is a kind of threshold haunting. It doesn't cross the line. Not physically. But it wants to. The knocking is almost ritualistic. 3 times. Same hour. Like it's waiting for permission. And the scratches inside the door? That's not just intrusion, that's a message.
The fact that they live behind another home, separate but close, adds this strange layer. Like they're out of sight, out of sync, but still vulnerable. And the mention of the old church and cemetery nearby? That's history pressing against the present. That kind of emotional geography matters.
I keep thinking about what they said at the end. It still knocks. That repetition, that persistence, feels personal. It's not trying to scare them off. It's trying to be let in. And once something starts knocking from inside the house, that's not just a haunting anymore. That's a presence.
And whatever it is, it's still waiting. Stay close. The next caller is already whispering.
Our next story is called Office After Hours. Most people think hauntings belong to old houses, graveyards, or empty woods. But what happens when the place you fear is your workplace? When the lights flicker, the hallway stretches too long, and something faceless waits beyond the break room.
Hey, Darkline. My name's Daniel. I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia. This happened a few months ago, and I still don't know how to explain it. I work in a mid-rise downtown, just a boring office building. I'm in IT, so I'm usually the last one out. It was around 10 p.m. I was finishing a network patch alone on the 6th floor. Lights were dimmed, and I could hear the elevator pinging every few minutes even though no one was using it. I was standing by the server rack when I saw the hallway lights flicker. That's not unusual. But this time, the motion lights didn't come back on. I walked toward them, and about halfway down the corridor, I saw someone standing under the exit sign. Just barely outlined. Still. I thought maybe it was security. I said, "Hey, I'm just wrapping up." But they didn't move, didn't speak. And then, the exit sign behind them flickered, once, twice, and for a split second. I swear they had no face, just skin, smooth. I stepped back, fast, and when I looked again, they were gone. I checked the elevator log. No one else had badged in, nothing on the security cams, just a shadow that stayed on screen longer than it should have. I don't work late anymore. I get in early, and every time I hear the elevator ding behind me, I wait a few seconds before turning around.
There's something about a building that's meant to feel safe. Bright lights, name tags, schedule boards. But the second that structure shuts down, it becomes something else. Offices at night are like empty theaters. You know the scene, but everything's off. And when something faceless stands beneath an exit sign, that's not random, that's ritual.
And it's still operating by pattern. The elevator dinging, the hallway lighting, these are programmed systems. But something about this felt sentient. A presence aware of the routines. Maybe it wasn't just haunting Daniel, it was mimicking the building.
Exactly. Almost like it needed the silence, the stillness. Like it couldn't exist when everything was loud and human. But once that stopped, once it was just him and the hum of electricity, there was space for something else to step in.
And the real fear? It didn't have to touch him. It just changed his behavior. He started going in early, changing his schedule. That's not paranoia, that's survival instinct.
Something in that building was watching him, and it wasn't ready to leave when the lights went out. Coming up, our final call of the night.
Our final voicemail takes us deep into the Superstition Mountains. A lone hiker searching for something that's been lost for over a century, something many have died trying to find. The Lost Dutchman's mine, and maybe he found it. Listen closely.
Hey, Darkline, this is Mike, calling from Apache Junction right at the edge of the Superstitions. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain this, but if anyone's out there, if anyone knows about this place, I need to know I'm not losing my mind. It happened last winter. I was out in the Superstitions following a lead I found in an old newspaper archive. Some article from the 50s about a guy who disappeared out there, claimed he'd found something before he vanished. I figured it was just another desert legend, but then I found something. Something I shouldn't have. I was about 10 miles in near Weaver's Needle when I saw him. A man. A prospector. At least, that's what he looked like. Wide-brimmed hat, long beard, worn-out boots, and this old canvas satchel slung over one shoulder. He was standing on a rocky outcrop above the trail, just watching me. And then, he waved me down. He looked solid. Not a ghost, just a man. I asked if he needed help, and he just looked at me and said, "Ain't about needin' help. It's about knowing the way." Then he turned and walked into the brush. I don't know why, but I followed him. Something about the way he moved. It was slow but steady, like he knew I'd come after him. We hiked about half a mile. The terrain shifted, rock formations I didn't recognize, colors in the stone I swear I've never seen before. Then we came to this narrow canyon that wasn't on any map. That's where I saw the entrance. A mine shaft, reinforced with old wooden beams, half collapsed. Tools were scattered around like someone dropped everything and ran. I turned to ask the guy something, but he was gone. No sound, no footprints, just gone. And on one of the beams above the shaft, something was carved into the wood. I brushed away the dust and saw the name Jacob Waltz. That's when it hit me. The Lost Dutchman. The guy they say found a gold vein bigger than anything ever recorded, and took the secret to his grave. I don't even know why, but I stepped inside. Just a few feet. The air was cold. Colder than it should have been. And the smell. Damp rock and something metallic, like old blood. My flashlight didn't help much. The walls looked clawed. Deep gouges in the rock like something had tried to tear its way out. And then I saw it. A gold vein, twisting through the stone like lightning frozen in time. I reached out, and I heard him, breathing, right behind me. And in that same dry voice he said, "Gold's still here, if you're willing to take it." I ran. I couldn't see. I don't even remember how I got back to my car. But when I checked my GPS later, nothing. No record. Just a straight line, like I never left the trail. And yet, I saw it. And sometimes real late. When it's quiet, I still hear that voice. Like he's still down there, waiting.
I don't know what it is about this call, but I can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's not even what Mike saw. It's how it all happened. He's not just a guy out hiking who stumbled into something weird. He was led into it.
Yeah, and that prospector, the way he waved Mike down like he'd been expecting him, that gave me chills. He didn't just appear. He appeared for him.
And Mike followed. That's what sticks with me. I mean, we all want to think we'd make the rational choice in that moment. But he didn't hesitate. Psychologically, it's called a shadow impulse. Sometimes we're drawn toward what scares us because part of us wants to see what's on the other side.
Which is exactly how the best legends work. They pull you in. And this one? It's textbook folklore. The old stranger, the unmapped trail, the offer that sounds like a riddle. It's almost like the desert itself sent him a guide.
And it's not just a cave. It's a mine. That matters. Mines are these deep, unnatural spaces, man-made holes in the earth that we fill with risk and greed and hope. They're dangerous because we created them.
And we don't just dig for gold, we dig for meaning. But there's this thing about the Dutchman story. It never really ends. It just waits for the next person to go looking. Maybe that's what Mike walked into. Not a place, a pattern.
I mean, the GPS data vanishing? That wasn't a tech glitch, that's symbolic. The place removed itself, like it only exists when it wants to be found. Like a mirage that leaves footprints.
There's this Apache legend about a mountain spirit that tests people by offering treasure. If your intentions are pure, you come back different. If not, you just disappear. Maybe Mike didn't take the gold, but he thought about it. And the mountain noticed.
And now the voice is following him, which is such a classic haunting but way more personal. It's not haunting the place, it's haunting him.
Yeah, because whatever's down there, it's not just sitting on gold. It's waiting for someone who wants something badly enough to go deeper.
And maybe that voice wasn't warning him. Maybe it was promising he'd get another chance.
And next time, the Dutchman might not let him go. That was our final call of the night, but not the end of what's out there.
Some knocks come from the living, some don't. When no one is there, why do we still feel the urgency to answer? And when something wants inside, it usually finds a way. What stands in the hallway isn't always human. And once it notices you, it doesn't stop. Some figures don't need faces to follow you home. Not all trails lead somewhere. Some loop back through time, and some mines weren't meant to be found, only reopened, because in certain places, the gold isn't the treasure, you are. The dark line is quieting, for now. But it never stays quiet for long. If tonight's episode left you unsettled, awakened something, or pulled at the edges of what you believe, leave us a review, share the signal. Help keep the dark line open. If you have a call of your own, something strange, something true, or something you still don't understand, you can send us your audio recording at thedarkline@outlook.com. We're still working on getting an official number, so for now, let's keep my cell out of it. The Dark Line is a Synergy Edge production. Created and directed by Robert Barba. Hosted by Sophia Thompson and Wylder Graves. Original music by Evan Boyerman. And I am Damian Talbot. Until next time, when the veil is thin. Stay curious, because the unknown won't stay unknown for long.